All right, ready to dive into a new career path.
Always up for expanding horizons. What's on the docket today?
Well, you've really piqued my interest with this stack of articles and guides about concrete products, machine operators.
Oh, interesting. Concrete work, huh?
Yeah. And I'll admit, I haven't given much thought to who makes all those concrete pieces we see every day. Sidewalks, bridges, buildings.
It's easy to take those things for granted, isn't it?
Totally. But this deep dive is already opening my eyes to just how vital those roles are in literally building the world around us.
It's a role that often flies under the radar, wouldn't you say? But think about it. Bridges, buildings, even those sidewalks we take for granted, they all rely on the precision and skill of these operators.
Exactly. It's like they're building the stage for our everyday lives. But the source material you've shared goes way beyond just saying they operate machinery.
hmm
It actually gets into the nitty-gritty of things like greasing, assembling, and stripping molds. Can you break down what those processes actually involve?
Absolutely. Let's take the example of precast concrete beams, which are commonly used in construction. The operator's day might start by preparing the mold for the beam. This involves cleaning it thoroughly, then applying a releasing agent, that's the greasing part, to ensure the concrete doesn't stick once it's cured.
Makes sense. A sticky situation is the last thing you want when you're dealing with tons of concrete.
Exactly. Then comes the assembling. Depending on the complexity of the beam, this might involve setting up reinforcement bars, placing any necessary inserts for electrical or plumbing, and ensuring everything is aligned according to the design specifications.
So there's a surprising level of precision involved, almost like a large-scale puzzle.
You're right, it's not just about brute strength. Then, once the mold is prepared, the operator would control the machinery to pour the concrete mixture into the mold, ensuring it's evenly distributed and vibrated to eliminate air bubbles.
I'm already getting a better sense of how crucial this role is. If one piece of that puzzle is off, it could throw off the entire project down the line, couldn't it?
Absolutely, and that's where the stripping molds comes in. Once the concrete has cured, the operator needs to carefully remove the mold, inspecting the finished product for any defects. This requires a keen eye and a thorough understanding of the curing process to ensure the concrete has reached the required strength.
So it's a blend of technical know-how, attention to detail, and probably a good dose of problem-solving skills, too. Speaking of which, one of these articles mentions cement mixtures and adjusting machine settings. What kind of knowledge base do you need to operate these machines effectively?
You're hitting the nail on the head there. It's not as simple as just pushing buttons. These operators need to understand the properties of different concrete mixtures, how the ratio of cement, aggregates like sand and gravel, and water affects the strength, durability and workability of the final product.
It's like a recipe. You need the right ingredients and the right proportions to create the desired outcome.
Precisely. And just like a chef adjusts cooking time based on the oven, a concrete products machine operator needs to fine-tune machine settings based on factors like the type of concrete being used, the ambient temperature, and even the humidity levels.
That makes sense. There's a lot more science involved than I initially realized. But what about the work environment itself? We touched on the physical demands earlier, but the articles also mention exposure to noise, dust, and the need for safety gear.
That's right. It's not the most glamorous of settings, to be honest. Operators often work outdoors, exposed to the elements, and the machinery can generate a fair bit of noise and dust. Safety is paramount in this line of work.
So it's not for the faint of heart. But on the flip side, these articles highlight job stability as a major push. Why is that?
Think about it this way. Infrastructure is the backbone of any society, and concrete is the backbone of infrastructure. Roads, bridges, buildings, they all require concrete, and that demand isn't going anywhere anytime soon. In fact, with growing populations and urbanization, the demand for skilled concrete products machine operators is likely to increase.
So if you're looking for a career that's as solid as the material you work with, this might be it. But what about those who are looking to climb the concrete ladder, so to speak? Where can this role lead in terms of career progression?
There are certainly opportunities for advancement. One path could lead to a supervisory role, overseeing a team of operators, managing production schedules, and ensuring quality control.
So from operating the machines to leading the team that operates the machines, what other paths are there?
With experience and additional training, an operator could specialize in a particular area, like quality control. They might become experts in reading blueprints, inspecting finished products, and conducting tests to ensure those products meet industry standards.
So there's room for specialization within the field. That's interesting. The source material also mentions the impact of automation on this industry. What kind of changes are we talking about?
Automation is transforming manufacturing across the board, and concrete production is no exception. We're seeing an increase in the use of robotics, computer-aided design, CAD, and even 3D printing in concrete manufacturing.
3D printing with concrete. That sounds fascinating. What are the implications for someone considering a career as a concrete products machine operator? Will they need to become tech wizards as well?
It's not about being replaced by technology, but rather about adapting to work alongside it. The role of the operator is evolving to include more technical skills, like programming and troubleshooting automated systems, analyzing data from sensors, and operating sophisticated control panels.
So instead of just muscle memory, it's about combining that with digital fluency. That's quite a shift. And speaking of shifts, one of the articles you shared dives into the job application process, and it even mentions how AI is changing the way companies are recruiting.
It's true, AI is playing an increasingly prominent role in recruitment,
Mhm.
from screening resumes to conducting initial interviews.
Hold on, so you might be interviewed by an algorithm before you even get to talk to a human.
It's becoming more common. These AI-powered systems are designed to assess your skills and experience based on your resume and your responses to standardized questions.
That's both impressive and a little intimidating.
It's understandable to feel that way, but think of it as an opportunity to showcase your skills in a different way. Instead of focusing solely on your personality or how well you tell a story, these systems are looking for concrete evidence of your abilities and how well they align with the specific requirements of the job.
So how do you even prepare for an interview with an algorithm?
Yeah.
It feels like you need to feed it the right keywords or something.
You're not far off when crafting your resume and cover letter. Use clear, concise language and highlight those keywords that are relevant to the job description. Think about how an algorithm might scan your application, looking for specific skills and experiences.
So it's all about tailoring your message to both human and machine audiences. Now, that's a skill I never thought I'd need.
It's becoming increasingly important in today's job market, but even with the rise of AI, don't underestimate the importance of those traditional interview skills.
You're right, the human touch still matters. What kind of questions should someone expect during an interview for a concrete products machine operator position?
They'll likely be asked about their experience operating specific types of machinery. The interviewer might ask them to describe a time they had to troubleshoot a problem or handle a challenging situation on the job.
So it's about demonstrating both technical knowledge and problem-solving abilities. What about safety? Given the nature of the work, I imagine that's a top priority.
Absolutely. Be prepared to discuss safety protocols you've followed in the past, any relevant safety training you've received, and your overall approach to maintaining a safe work environment.
It sounds like acing this interview requires a blend of technical expertise, problem-solving skills, and a strong safety mindset.
Precisely. And don't forget those soft skills. Communication is key, especially in a manufacturing environment where you're often working as part of a team.
Right, makes sense.
Be prepared to talk about how you collaborate with others, how you handle conflict, and how you communicate effectively, especially in potentially stressful situations.
It's like a crash course in acing any interview. You've got to bring your A game, showcasing both your hard skills and those all-important soft skills.
Exactly, and don't be afraid to ask your own questions at the end of the interview. It shows you're engaged and genuinely interested in the opportunity. It's a two-way street, after all.
That's a great reminder. It's easy to get caught up in trying to impress the interviewer, but they should be impressing you as well. It's about finding the right fit for both parties.
Precisely, and speaking of fit, let's not forget the importance of finding a career that aligns with your interests and values. If you enjoy hands-on work, have a knack for problem solving, and take pride in building things that last, then a career as a concrete products machine operator might just be the perfect fit.
I love how you brought it back to the human element. It's easy to get caught up in the technical details, but at the end of the day, it's about finding a career that's both challenging and fulfilling.
Exactly.
Well, I have to say, this deep dive has been eye-opening. I had no idea there was so much more to the world of concrete products, machine operators, than meets the eye.
It's a hidden gem of an industry, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. But before we wrap up, I always like to leave our listeners with a little something to ponder, a thought to carry with them.
I believe I have just the morsel. We've talked extensively about the evolving role of technology in this field, from automation to AI-powered recruitment tools. But let's take that a step further and delve into the realm of what's next.
Okay, I'm intrigued what's next for concrete products machine operators.
Imagine a future where AI isn't just assisting these operators, but actually enhancing their capabilities on the job.
Okay, now you're talking robots. Adi, give me an example. Paint me a picture of this future.
Picture this. AI-powered exoskeletons that provide operators with enhanced strength and endurance, allowing them to handle heavy molds and equipment with ease and precision.
Like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. I can see it now. Concrete products, machine operators of the future, all decked out in their high-tech exosuits.
It's not as far-fetched as it might seem, and it doesn't stop there. Imagine AI algorithms that can analyze production data in real time, optimizing machine settings for maximum efficiency and minimal waste, or even predicting potential equipment failures before they occur.
So we're talking about a future where AI isn't replacing jobs, but rather augmenting human capabilities, making the work safer, more efficient, and even more rewarding.
Precisely. And let's not forget the potential for AI to revolutionize the design and creation of concrete structures themselves. Imagine a world where architects and engineers can collaborate with AI-powered systems to design and build structures that are stronger, more sustainable, and aesthetically stunning.
Wow. It's like those sci-fi movies are starting to sound more like documentaries every day.
Mhm.
So you're saying that AI could not only change how these operators work, but also potentially create entirely new specializations within the field.
Exactly. We might see a demand for operators who specialize in programming and maintaining these AI systems, for example. Or perhaps even a new generation of concrete architects who use AI to design and create increasingly complex and innovative concrete structures.
It's mind-blowing to think about the possibilities, and a little intimidating, to be honest. It sounds like anyone considering a career in this field better be ready to embrace lifelong learning.
That's the reality of any industry these days, but especially one as ripe for innovation as concrete production. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a little
Yeah,
challenge?
especially when that challenge involves shaping the future of our world, literally. Well, on that note, I think we've given our listeners plenty to chew on today. From the tangible skills needed to succeed as a concrete products machine operator to the potential impact of AI on the future of the field. We've gone deep, explored those nuances, and hopefully sparked some new ideas along the way.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you, as always.
And to you, our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of concrete products machine operators. Until next time, keep those hard hats handy and those minds curious.